You know, as a YouTuber, or I guess like a wannabe YouTuber, there are some videos that like I think about making and like I want to make, but it's just impossible to do, right? And for the longest time, one of those videos was a rank 3 Moleman video, because for the longest time, this man wasn't a 7-star champion. But look at this. I am currently living the dream, because here's a rank 3 Moleman crushing this Gauntlet Dr. Doom, and this fight goes by really fast. Now, I can't yap as much as I want to because Moleman will not let me, because these fight times are actually absurd. This is Gauntlet Doom, by the way, and this was a 37-second fight. That is a bit absurd, and I'm gonna try my best to not be biased in this video, because this is Moleman, right? This is my favorite champion in the game. But it's gonna be hard because I really do love this character. He is my favorite champion, obviously, and this week is the week of Moleman. You know, it was already a special week for me in the first place, so I thought, why not just add to it and make it about, you know, one of my favorite champions as well. So yeah, here is Moleman versus this Anti-Venom. This Anti-Venom has, what is it, polka dot power, so we won't gain our power naturally, but the damage output without the special attacks is still very good. Like, the bleed damage is just insane, especially with deep wounds, and I have that maxed out now because of Moleman, so we are chilling. And here I go for an SP2 in a second. Yeah, here we get the Unstoppable up, and this matchup is now over. Very clean fight. A bit of a like dodgy ending there, but that's okay. It's not perfect, but it doesn't have to be because it's Moleman, so does it really matter? But now we have this Quicksilver boss, and this one has a very interesting node. It has electric fluctuations, and this one's a bit odd because it kind of stops Moleman, but here's the thing. Moleman is such a strong Quicksilver counter that it doesn't really like have a massive effect. So what that node does is it reduces buff duration by 5 seconds, so Moleman doesn't have his Unstoppable, which is kind of annoying because I think it's like so reliable, and it's such a great ability to have since it lets him like bypass like Limber, like any stun immunity, even unblockable. It's like a really clutch thing. But yeah, here he drops the SP2, no big deal. I dodge it. Here I drop my own SP2 in a second here. And yeah, the damage output is going to be very good. 42,000 crit. Go back in here, a nice 50,000 plus crit. And this matchup, it kind of just feels over because it kind of is over. So yeah, here he drops the SP2 again, no big deal. I drop the relic one more time, and that should just do it. Yeah, sub 1 minute fight, nothing that I don't expect from Moleman. But now we have this Joseph Fix-It, and this one is a very odd one as well because Joseph here has, I'm gonna call him Joseph by the way because it's just more entertaining to me. Joseph here has Disorient whenever whenever he triggers like a certain like card stack thing. He's a very odd character, but here's the thing, Moleman just kind of doesn't care. And he will like gimp us because of like the Disorient, and like that stops our Unstoppable sometimes. But you know what? We're still doing great damage. We're still doing massive crits here. 87,000 damage right there because why not? And yeah, we have more Disorients, but that's whatever. We go back in here one more time, drop a combo into a relic, into a heavy attack, into the SP2, and this matchup is over. So like, even Disorient doesn't really stop Moleman that well, right? Which is pretty crazy. But now we have this Mcoc fight, and this one is gonna, like, you know, get some comments for sure, because you're gonna be saying, oh, if he wasn't nerfed, he could do this fight a lot better since he would have access to the true accuracy during Frenzy. And you're right, he would do it a whole lot better. But does he still do it? Yes. And in my opinion, that's all that matters really. So yes, I know that Moleman was changed a long time ago, and I honestly haven't even thought about it in a long time. It's just I know that people still like have it in the back of their mind, which, you know what, fair enough, right? Any champion nerf I feel like should be remembered. And Do I wish that he was like the way he used to be? I mean, like, who doesn't, right? But I still appreciate this champion for like what he is today, and I feel like he is still an absolute powerhouse despite being changed in that one way. But yeah, while I was talking, he just destroyed this fight. It was a really quick one, and yeah, Mcoc is now down. That was like, what, under a minute still? Pretty good stuff. But now we have this very, very odd one here. This is Gauntlet Black Panther Civil War, and this guy doesn't get enough like credit for being annoying because he is genuinely very, very annoying. Now, what this fight has is Armored Assault and a whole lot of armor up, so that's just amazing. Now, what does Mole Man do to counter this fight? Well, he can block unblockable, and he can block any single unblockable in the game. That's just a fact of life. He can block even Bubble Shield now. It used to be bugged to where he couldn't, but now he can, so yeah, he is pretty much chilling. And that's a 71,000 crit, by the way, so yeah, he's kind of just crushing this fight. Here we're going for a heavy attack. Could have been dangerous, but it wasn't, so we're just gonna brush right past that. And yeah, this fight is now over. A really fun fight, to be honest. Like, he crushed it. He's so good for these unblockable fights because he just ignores any unblockable in the game. And yeah, drop one more combo. Doesn't do it quite yet, but then the bleeds just tick him down, and that was like a minute still. Now we're gonna do a test of Mole Man when he is not in frenzy at all for the entire fight. Now, I was pretty nervous like thinking about this because I was like, wait, his crit rate is pretty low at base. Maybe he just will not work too well overall here, but I think I was wrong because he does this fight just fine. And like, while he doesn't crit all the time, when he crits big time, and that's because of his awakened ability, which is Giganto Jr.'s Revenge. Now, what does this do? Well, based on his current like health count or like health percentage, he gets bonus crit damage rating, and the lower his health is, the higher it gets. So, well, okay, wait, if I don't like specify, that sounds really odd. The lower his health is, the higher the crit damage gets. There we go. And so, like, when we crit, it's a really big crit, like 21,000 damage right there, 15,000 right there as well. It's some pretty good stuff. And yeah, we're just doing our damage. It's not consistent, but it's still there, and that's all that matters for this fight, really. And yeah, she drops the SP1, no big deal. We go back in here, 10,000 light attack crits. Here we drop the SP2 after the relic, and it is time to cash in and hopefully get a crit. No crits yet, that's perfectly fine because we get this 61,000 crit to end the fight. You love to see it, man. Alright, we have entered the Eternity of Pain, and it's not really that painful for Mole Man, especially this Hercules fight, because I feel like Mole Man is one of the strongest counters to this fight. Now, why is that? Well, first off, Mole Man can just purify the Infuriate initially, which is really, really clutch, but also, the Foresight node is really good for Mole Man because whenever you counterattack with Mole Man's Unstoppable, that counts as an intercept. So yeah, he is very, very clutch for that reason, and additionally, he blocks the unblockable from the 0 to hero node. So this man is just so good for this fight, and he is crushing it so far. Like, this damage output is absurd. He is just doing absolute work in this matchup, and yeah, it's gonna be over very, very soon. So I think Mole Man is honestly one of the best like non-mystic counters to this fight. Honestly, one of the best counters just in general. And this matchup is over after the Indestructible and the Immortality just wears off. So yeah, a very fun fight, to be honest, and a very, very fast one at that. But now we have a fight that is honestly very scary. This is, in my opinion, the hardest boss in Eternity of Pain by a long shot. Now, this is the Overseer boss, and this man has a ton of annoying things. He has this node where, like, if you try to parry him, he nullifies a buff off of you and himself, but he's immune to it, so you just take damage. There's this node where, like, you have to You have to watch out with like the power level, because if your power is higher than his, he will swap your power levels, which is insane. He also has encroaching stun. He has a ton of different annoying nodes. He also has power gain. This man is rough, like really rough to deal with, but Mole Man, he can handle him pretty well. Like, he's not like the perfect counter, but he is a counter that does a pretty great job. There I go for a heavy attack. The range isn't too bad in that situation. Here I drop another SP1 for encroaching stun, and yeah, so far we're kind of like managing pretty well, but the longer this fight goes on, the more dangerous it becomes. So I have to watch out, because yeah, this man is gonna, he's very close to just one-shotting me right there, but he doesn't. So we're thankfully like still in this. There I drop a heavy attack, and there I drop the SP1. I shouldn't have done that, but he doesn't retaliate, so that was kind of lucky. Kind of, but you know what, it's fine, man. We take it. We go back in here, and we are so close to the promised land. But yeah, this fight is still like very scary. Even like when it feels like it's almost done, it's still a very dangerous fight because of that power gain, because of so many different reasons, to be honest. Here he drops the SP2, no big deal, and we go back in here, drop a heavy attack, and that does it. Yeah, what a fight, man. It's a scary one, but we got it done, so we're chilling. Now we have this Craven fight. Now, I think this taught me something new about Mole Man that I didn't think was real until now, but I think lowering Mole Man's defensive ability accuracy actually does stop him from blocking unblockable, because I had some disorients on me, right? And that actually did stop me from blocking unblockable unless my inputs just dropped. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case, because in a future fight in this video, my inputs drop a lot, and it's a good showing of just how tanky Mole Man is, because oh my god, I was taking like 21 hits to the face. It was bad. There I got hit as well, but that was just me. That was just me for sure. But yeah, here I enter Frenzy in a second. No, I don't actually, because it's not the right time to do it. There he drops the SP1. Here I drop my own SP1 in a second, and it's a slow burner fight, obviously, but once we get going, it's gonna be like a pretty quick one. So here I drop the SP1. We have that massive distance to just get rid of the trap, and yeah, now we're entering Frenzy, and there he just like, okay, that was on me again. I'm sorry. Maybe it's a me issue. No, there. Like, how did he do that? When I have my, like, you know, I have my frenzy charges up, I should be able to block unblockable, but I didn't. So I feel like it does have something to do with the disorients. So that was like kind of odd to me, but we're just gonna brush past that. Maybe that is the one thing that stops Mole Man, and it does make sense, to be fair, but yeah, I don't know. I don't really like that, obviously, because I don't like when Mole Man is gimped, so we're just gonna have to brush past that, I guess. But like right here, blocks unblockable, perfectly fine, but that's because we had no disorients on us. So yeah, here he drops CSP2, no big deal, go back in here, and this should do it, like one more combo or something. I don't know why I did that. I should have just gone in for like I should have just gone for the finish, but yeah, I messed it up instead, and yeah, 24,000 heavy attack, not bad in the slightest. Now we have this crazy matchup. You want to guess how fast this fight is, because yeah, let me tell you, it's a very fast fight. And this has cold turkey, so like if I purify, I like take damage. So like right there, immediately taking damage, but that's okay because the damage output from Mole Man is honestly pretty nutty right now. And here we go for the SP2. We got power stung, it's fine. And yeah, like one SP2, half his health just gone. That's incredible stuff, really. Here he drops his own SP2. That's fine. We go back in here in a second, drop another heavy attack, and it is now time to end the fight. So look at this damage output. Go back in here, drop the SP2 again, and yeah, this is just game over. 60,000 plus crit right there. Mole Man is an absolute machine. But now we have this invisible woman in the abyss, and this is like a really strong damage test, because this is not only 2+ million health, this is a force field that comes back very often, and it's worth like 200,000 health as well. So this fight can be like up to 3 million health, and let's see how fast Mole Man takes it down. Now this is just Mole Man with recall masteries and nothing else. No synergy or anything. This is just his pure damage with the recall masteries. Now, this is the week of Mole Man, right? So this is just like the beginning of the showcases. I want to do like a non-recall mastery showcase. I want to do a fully boosted and like full synergy showcase. It's going to be a fun week, to say the least, right? And I'm really excited for it, and I'm just saying this now because I have like some time to yap, thankfully. So yeah, I'm pretty pumped for it. This fight is going very well though. Like, the damage output is just absurd. Mole Man is like crushing this fight, and the bleed damage is just broken, man. It is so strong. And like the crits as well are just insane too whenever like the force field is down. But yeah, here we go for SB2 in a second. And this damage output is honestly a thing of beauty. A nice 50,000 plus crit again. It just feels so good to have a 7-star Mole Man. But yeah, here we drop another heavy attack, and this should do it in just a second. Actually, no, we're like halfway done. What am I saying? Yeah, this is an endurance fight, but is it really when it's like 2 minutes? Like, that doesn't feel like such an endurance fight. The real endurance fight is like after this one, but yeah, here we go for a heavy attack, no big deal. And yeah, we're still just like chipping away at the force field. Like, the force field, like I said, is worth 200,000 health just about, and the fact that he takes it down so quickly, yeah, that goes to show how strong his damage output is. And like, that's without the SP2 or anything, because I don't want to drop it during the force field, because like once it expires, she goes invisible, and then that could like mess me up. But yeah, we're still doing very good here. Drop the relic into a heavy attack, and yeah, the force field is back up. And this should be the last one, so we're kind of chilling. Here she drops the SP2, no big deal. And we are looking pretty good right now. The force field is like almost halfway down. It's just chipping away. The bleed damage is doing a ton of work for us. And we're going to drop one more SP2 here if she wants to let me do it, which she does. And this damage output is just a thing of beauty, really. And yeah, the fight is done. So that was like, what, 2 minutes for an Abyss of Legends fight that has about 3 million health when you like factor in the force field. It's some crazy stuff. And for the finale here, we have this Bahamut boss. Now, this one's a really cool one. So with Mole Man here, this is a good showing of like how he can alter his purify like phase, or like his purify mode with like, you know, without the frenzy, and like his overall insane damage output during frenzy. So when the fight starts, I'm not going to enter frenzy just yet because I want to like get a purify going. So here he drops the SP1, we purify the Saurian, and yeah, now we have the first radiation blast at the ready. Here I drop a special attack for the removal charge. And now we're going to enter frenzy in a second here, and look at this damage output. It is just absurd, and like he goes through the phases very quickly. So yeah, here is like the first phase already down just like that. It is honestly insane, and I don't want to gain any more frenzy charges, because if I do, like, I'm not helping myself really, because I want to start purifying the debuffs again. And by the way, there are so many dropped inputs in this fight. It is honestly insane, and it's a good showing of how like tanky Mole Man is, I guess, because yeah, this man takes 21 hits to the face and he still survives somehow. It is crazy stuff. But yeah, you know, that's just Mole Man for you. Here we get the purify going, which is perfect, and it is time for another radiation blast. Here I drop my SP2 into the like, you know, the blast, and yeah, we have the removal charges ready. Another dropped input, like, oh my, like, I don't want to blame like myself for that, but I feel like I'm just like playing it fine. It's just like the inputs, man. But you know what, I don't care, right? Like, I don't care if I get hit. Like, the fight was never gonna be perfect, so I don't really like care if it isn't, because this is just Mole Man being tanky. So it's a good showcase nonetheless. But yeah, here he drops the radiation blast. I drop my heavy attack into the SP3 for the guaranteed frenzy, and now it's time to do some more damage. And I am pumped for this, because yeah, look how like fast he just goes from like whatever like percent he's at right now to just the next phase. It is just insane. But yeah, here we go for 100,000 mediums. Very hilarious. Go back in here, and yeah, this is just a bit absurd really. drop the relic into another combo, and yeah, we are into the next phase just about. Wild stuff, man, just absolutely wild stuff. And here he drops the SP1, no big deal, and we're good, man. We're just like good. We have to like use some power though because of like what we need to do to get the removal charges, which is drop a special attack, and it can't be the SP3, so yeah, have to be careful there. But here he drops the SP1 again, no big deal. And yeah, this is just going very, very well so far. And yeah, here he drops the SP1 again, and no big deal. We have the special attack ready, so we drop it, and we're just chilling right now, man. It's a pretty good time. And yeah, we just got to do one more SP1, and then we're just in the clear, which here he does drop it in a second. Okay, actually, I play it slow here, which is smart, and then he drops it, and now we're like absolutely chilling. So here he drops it one more time. I've said that a lot already, but it's okay. Here I drop my heavy attack, and it is time for some big damage now. So we're gonna go in here, drop the SP3. Look at that, he is angry. He is a mad Giganto Jr. And yeah, look at this animation, look at the slam dunk right here. It is perfection. And yeah, the fight is gonna be over pretty quickly now. So this damage output is just absurd still. And now we're in the final phase, and now it's time to just like skip a bit, because this is where disaster starts for me, because I drop so many inputs. I don't know if I'm like bad. I am, right? But like it's so hard to explain how like I just felt like I couldn't block for some reason. And Moleman's the one champion where like you should be able to block literally anything, but like I just couldn't block in this fight. It was so frustrating. But yeah, here we're getting like heat blasted, and I'm just like, I'm annoyed, obviously. Like I'm so annoyed at this point. I'm like, come on, man, can I just block something? And we do eventually, but now it's ping pong time, and yeah, we get something going there at least. Then I drop the SP3, and it is time to just like cash in the damage. But man, it was so frustrating, just like not being able to block. It felt like that is so annoying. But yeah, now we're gonna go into normal speed again, and yeah, the fight is gonna end very quickly after this. Well, here I'm gonna mess up the ping pong. Actually, no, we're past that. Never mind. Here I drop the relic, and then I go back in one more time with a heavy attack, and this should do it. One more combo, and yeah, the fight is done. So that was rank 3 Moleman. That was your introduction to my favorite champion in the game at rank 3. There's a lot more to come for sure. This is just the beginning of Moleman's journey on my channel, and this is just the beginning of the week of Moleman. So I am very excited to see how like this week turns out. I hope that y'all enjoy it. I hope that y'all have fun like with these Moleman videos, because they've been requested a ton, and we're gonna get started now. So I hope to see you like with the future uploads and everything. Let me know your thoughts on rank 3 Moleman so far, and yeah, that's about it for me.